This is a quick video on how to navigate Teacher Dashboard. Once you're logged in, you'll see your classes under My Classes. And so you pick a class and click on it, and that will open up the Teacher Dashboard interface. And you'll see all your students listed in boxes. And in this case, you'll see documents that the students have turned into the boxes. In a later video, we'll show you the student view and how students can turn in documents. But for now, we're looking at the teacher's Teacher Dashboard. This is an interface that students do not have access to and only is available to teachers. So this is the class that we're looking at here, this tab up here. And these are the students who are in the class. And these are the documents, and if I hover over them, these are documents that students have turned in. And by hovering over them, you can see thumbnails. Also, each of these is a folder that's shared between the student and the teacher, and students do not have access to other students' folders in these environments. So if I actually wanted to go into this shared folder between myself, the teacher, and the student, I can click here and actually open up the folder that the student is turning the assignments in. And again, you'll see where this folder is when you look at the student view of Teacher Dashboard. A couple things to look at here is that you'll notice that the teacher's name happens to be here and this information over here on the right. What this shows you is who was the last person that edited the document and when did they last edit the document. So in this case, this is a presentation that was created for the students, and every student had access to edit this presentation. And so the assignment was each student was to create a slide about themselves in this shared presentation. So you can see that the last person who was in the presentation was the teacher, and they were in 11 hours and 38 minutes ago. You'll notice there's a second document here that was turned in by the student, and in this case the student last edited this document a week and 4 days ago. So this is a great way to have students turn in documents and track their frequency of working within the document in this environment. If I as a teacher want to look at the document, all I simply have to do is click on the document, open it up, add my comments, etc., and then close the document, and the student still has access to it on their end because it's a shared document between the teacher and that individual student. Another question that comes up all the time is, can these boxes be reordered? And the answer is yes. I can take a student box, click on the title bar, and drag it down and change the order of the boxes to represent the seating, let's say, in my classroom. The only concern that I have is that I'm not sure that it actually holds on to this information. Also notice that I can click in the corner here and change the color of these boxes if I want to set up groups by color, so that I can use that as an indicator when working with this environment. Couple other tabs up here to be aware of is that posts and comments are for if you create a class blog using Blogger, you can track the students' posts and comments within that blog. In most cases, this is not something that's commonly used by teachers right now. The one that is significant is My Pictures, which is a shared Picasa web album between the teacher and the rest of the class. If students put pictures in this shared web album, then those pictures will appear in Teacher Dashboard. The students can get to their Picasa web album, or when they log into their Picasa web album, they can see this common album called My Pictures and use it as a class album, and therefore it will be tied into Teacher Dashboard. There's a later video on how to connect to Picasa through your EdTools account. A couple other quick things to show you in going through this particular environment is that if I click up here, there are 3 tabs. Under Sharing, I have a few more ways of accessing student documents. What this is showing me is any documents the student has in their Google Docs that are unshared. So it just kind of gives me a look into the student documents. Public and external means that external is I can see any documents that have been shared with the students from outside the EdTools account. that is from somebody who's not inside the district. Public means that I can see any documents that the student has shared with somebody outside the district. All documents means that I can see all the students' Google Docs in their account. So if it's not in the folder and I want to look at a document that potentially they have in their account, I can access it from here. And then I can also see any documents that potentially are in their trash, and I can also access the Picasa account from here. So those are those. What else I want to show you, which I think is significant, is that here you have a list of your students with their student numbers. But down below, if you look down here under class resources, there is an email address here. And if I copy and use this, this automatically will allow me to send an email to every student in the class. So it will go to their Gmail accounts. But if I want to send them a message and send it to everyone, I just simply have to click this one link, put it in the to-do box, the to box, excuse me, and then send it out to them. And that's pretty cool. And the rest of this is just information, all the student email addresses, and if you wanted to create an exported list of your students, their EdTool account addresses, you could do that in the form of an Excel file. So that's a quick tour of Teacher Dashboard, just to kind of give you an overview. The key component here is this is the environment where you can have students turn in their documents to a class folder, and it appears in your Teacher Dashboard, and you can open and grade and add your comments to the documents that the students turn in. One additional thing is over here on the far right-hand column. You can decide whether you want to see 3 documents, 5 documents, 15, or 25 documents, meaning that I can increase the number of documents that I see in each student box rather than just being limited to the last 3 that were edited. And always what it will show you is those documents at the top that were edited last. One final little note, you see an icon here for email. Because we have a web-based email in the district, this link does not work, because if you click on it, it will try to launch a desktop application of email, which we don't have on our system. So this is basically an unusable link that doesn't work. With that, that's a quick tour of Teacher Dashboard.